It's a big deal. Anything outside of pursuing his image is living outside of why he actually put his son on the cross. And God is love. Anything outside of growing up into love and becoming love is missing the point of why you're here. Anytime you live outside of the motive of walking in love, you're missing out on the reason you're alive. That's why people feel empty. That's why life is a grind. That's why they can't stand hardly to get up and go to work again. This grindstone 24/7, my whole life, I got to do this 9 to 5 thing. Rah, rah, rah. And people are unsettled and pushing through. They're trying to find something to relieve that. They're trying to find the perfect spouse. They're trying to find the greatest getaway vacation. They're writing bucket lists. I promise you the Lord will never fill your tank to travel on a road you were never called to be on. If you're living apart from pursuing his image, of course life is a grind. Because you're not living it for what you're here for. I think I said it Friday, you don't put metal in a microwave. Read the manufacturer's handbook. It's not made for that. You leave the foil on something. You let a fork be buried under some food, and you'll know in a second when you hit that button. Anybody ever do it? I did it. You'll be hitting the off switch quick or jumping backwards. Read the manufacturer's handbook. Man wasn't made for himself. And you start living for yourself, and the product wasn't made for that, you're going to blow up the product. You weren't made for you. You were made for his image. And when you know you were made for his image and you're in the world, not of the world, and you partake of his divine nature and escape, the rest of that verse in 2 Peter 1, you escape the corruption that's in the world through lust. That doesn't mean grilling a woman out of the side of your eye. The word lust there means self-centered, unsatisfiable desire. It's selfishness. The word lust means living for me. And it's something I can never fulfill. I mean, the marriage for me, the jobs for me, the money's for me, the blessings for me. I even lay down and serve and do things that look like it's for others, but it's for me because it makes me feel good when you appreciate me and say I'm amazing and we couldn't function without you. It gives me identity and value.
All right. Right.
Come on. We escape the corruption. Make no mistake about it, living for ourselves is definite corruption. Because unless a seed dies and falls to the ground, it'll never spring up, it'll abide alone. And you'll live your whole life for you at the expense of whoever. And it'll be a zero. And nothing can be reproduced in the end. So what's the opposite of love? Because love is lay down your life for another. What's the opposite of love? Live at the expense of another. We do it every time we argue and unreconciled conflict rises. We live at the expense of each other every time we fail to love and ignore each other or build each other up or encourage and edify. Every time we fault find. Every time we nitpick. Every time we stereotype and judge somebody for the mistake they made, and 5 years later that's what you think when you hear their name and that's all you see. That's living at the expense of one another. Every time you go to bed in anger, every time you leave work and there's animosity in your kitchen and you leave your spouse behind with an unsettled feeling and then you come home and have to step back into an unresolved situation. That's called living at the expense of one another. How's that for straight talk on a Sunday morning? Because I'm getting on a plane. I'll duck your stones. It's the opposite of love. Love doesn't seek its own. That's why it bears up under all things and takes no account of a suffered wrong. Then why are we so hurt? Why are we offended? Why are our counseling appointments filled with the stories and justifications for our demeanor? Why are all the facts listed to justify why I am the way I am when the whole time Jesus is Lord and He's in me to shine and manifest Him in the moment? regardless of how people are and how people are living, because people weren't cool in Jesus' day. They didn't treat him well. He wasn't a product of men. He was a product of his Father. And he didn't say, when you see me, you see the outraying of my reaction to all this chaos. He said, when you see me, you see my Father. That's powerful. That Jesus told us to follow him. And that if we believe, we'll do the things that he does. And even greater things, because he's going to the Father who happens to be our Father. Ain't that awesome? So all of a sudden we can shine. All of a sudden we are the light of the world. We are the hope of the earth in that sense. But you better make sure that that light is right here on the lampstand, bringing light to the room, and that you don't put a bushel basket over it. What's putting the basket over it? Just living for yourself. An unresolved conflict. Just an issue. Look, I've never seen anybody frustrated shine. I've never seen anybody with an unresolved conflict shine. I've never seen anybody with an issue shine. I've never seen anybody discouraged shine. I've never seen anybody driven by anxiety shine. Now, I've seen them all go to church. I've just never seen them shine. So here's what the devil does. Who cares if they go to church? Let's just make sure they don't shine and let them find their qualification and identity in the fact that they attend a church, do a daily devotion, and go on a mission trip now and then. Let's just make sure they don't shine and the world doesn't see Christ through their lives in the moment where it's necessary. Now, that's straight talk on a Sunday morning, because we're here to stir in love and good works. And none of this is a correction. It's an invite. It's a stirring. It's an admonishment. It's like a way. It's like, hey, let's make sure we see why he came. Let's make sure why we woke up with him in us this morning is realized. He's more than that awesome worship time. He's more than a celebration. One of the greatest forms of worship is when you live your life obedient to the truth. And then your song carries even more weight. You know that's true, girl, right? Because worship's amazing. These songs are real. The reason the room gets lit up and excited, he inhabits the praise of his people. It's a gift to us. When you sing who he is, it keeps who he is in front of you. He's not like, I wish somebody would talk nice about me today. I hope they sing that song. I need boosted. No. When you sing who he is right here. But it's not so we feel good in that moment. It's not, okay, let's strike up the band again and feel good again. Or, oh, I need to get to church and get my spirits lifted. That's a warning. When you have that thought, I need to go to church and get fed. No, you wake up in the morning and know him. You thank him. You believe he's in you. You have purpose when you go to work, that no matter what happens and no matter how you get squeezed, Jesus is oozing out of your life.